Oh, no.
But what?
No, not again.
I
I don't know what's wrong with this. Bonjour tout le monde, this is Frenchie, and you are listening to our Consultations. There's a big chance that video you just saw will replay 7 times, so before it happens, because we were having problems with it. Before that happens, I want to introduce you a special Northern Consultations on with me like usual, my fellow Northern Schmo, Mr. Dave. How you doing today? Hey, you are muted. You are muted. Muted, Dave. All right.
I'm doing great. But
There
can we do a show? Can we do a show in 2021 where the intro doesn't play a bunch? Just one show. That's all I want.
We're that awesome that people need to know and see our video more than once, apparently. All right, but this is not about us. We got the main man, Mr. Jader Paramo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I know we were supposed to be on like a week ago. It's been great. I don't know what went down, but I hope everything worked out. Super appreciative of being here. Super happy.
And we're really appreciative for you just saying yes and taking a little chunk of your busy schedule, my friend. So we do appreciate it. And this guy seems kind of familiar, but I'm not sure. Apparently, we got Mr. Gagné. Bonjour, Mr. Gagné.
Bonjour, monsieur. I am the newest Northern Schmo.
Okay.
And I am very excited to join your consultations.
Thank you.
Tabernacle, Sacrament, this is what.
Well, in that case, I will accompany you for 2 seconds just to annoy the shit out of my producer, Dave, just to make sure, I got him where I want him to be. Thank you very much for being on the show. It's a really pleasure, Mr. Gagné, for your first time appearance on any video cam. Takes a lot of bravery. All right.
I'm very, very excited. I'm a big fan of the Huracarana. Huracarana.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Mr. Huracarana?
Is he just asking for a Corona? What's going on?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I read out.
Huracarana.
It sounds Jewish. God,
no, Huracarana.
All right. So that being said, this is going to be an interesting one.
It's going to be great.
All right, Ms. Brown, let's start out with the usual. You have probably one of the most unique, and if you would have to do a movie about, like they do movies on hockey players and football players on just the journey alone, yours is one to be made. Could you, before the whole you winning the chance of proving yourself, could you talk about how you discovered Schmodown, your first loves of Schmodown, etc.?
Take it. Is it me?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. I don't know. I thought it was Mr. I thought it was this guy.
No.
No, I'm here.
You're the main star, my friend. You are the main guy.
To my knowledge, Monsieur Gagné does not compete in the Schmodown. He's just an analyst like us.
I enjoy watching. It's very fun. I am very excited to meet Mr. Huracarana and find out all about your journey in the Schmodown.
My bad.
Still don't know who that is.
That's all good. It's all good. Okay, so how did I discover the Schmodown? A buddy of mine, Javier, which is one of my best friends in the world. He one day we were preparing actually to watch Force Awakens in theaters. He's the one that actually got us the tickets to go watch it opening night. And he asked me, he's like, "Hey man, have you heard of Collider before?" I was like, "No, I have no idea what you're talking about." And he goes, "Man, it is the ESPN Sports Center of movies. Why you don't know about this is beyond me." So on and so forth. You got to check him out. So he came over to my house and he's like, "Hey, let me play it for you." And he played an episode with never forget it. It was Dennis Singh, Schnepp, rest in peace,
Mm.
Ellis, and Harloff. And it was love at first sight. It was just so instant where I'm like, why am I not part of this world? Why didn't I know about this? What's going on? And again, they managed to see, again, Star Wars. Okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. I thought I was a Star Wars fan until I started watching Star Wars matches. Where I'm like, I don't know shit about Star Wars. I'm a pretend fan apparently. So I was counting down to The Force Awakens. I instantly subscribed to the page. They managed to see the movie a little beforehand. Again, love at first sight. And shortly after, Christian announced what the Schmodown was, right? And he managed to say, he just kept saying it during movie talk. I would watch movie talk with movie fans every single day. It was like going to church on Sundays. Religious. That was the one show of Collider that I wouldn't miss, right? Whether I was at work, at home, I'd catch it later, but I would, no matter what, watch it every single day, right?
When you say it was like church, does this mean you fell asleep?
No, not at all, man. That's you taking jabs, man, but not at all. I love that show. I absolutely loved it. And Christian slowly but surely started announcing Schmodown. I was like, what the fuck is that, man? I'm sorry, can we curse? Because I have the worst.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Awesome. So I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And the first episode that I ever saw was season 3, right? And it was Dan Murrell versus John Campea, right? Which was a big hype match because, John Campea being who he is and then Dan Murrell being who he is. It was just a lot of hype. And I saw that episode and I was like, this is just fucking amazing. And I managed to keep up. My girl, Peggy, love you, girl. Thank you so much for fucking jumping on. This is awesome. But yeah, so I managed to just fall in love with the game. But even again, you're going back to again, season 3, episode 1, and they were asking questions where I was just like on top of it. And I was like, hey, this is really rad. This is awesome. So couldn't wait for next week's episode. And it was just like they were dropping episodes slowly but surely. And I noticed that I was pretty freaking good at it. I was like, I can keep up with these guys. This feels good. And this all comes from just love of film. Like I just, always grew up watching movies. I've just always had a passion for them. And, I wasn't one to like watch a film once and, forget about it. I could watch a film over and over and I wanted to know who every single actor was and who directed the film and who produced it and so on and so forth. That's just how I was, right? Growing up, it was a passion. Again,
who is your favorite Canadian actor?
Canadian actor?
Canadian, of course.
Fucking Ryan Reynolds, man. Love that guy.
He
made. I'm sorry. I know you guys hate him, man, but Deadpool was pretty rad, man.
It's not that we hate him. It just he brings the stereotypical like we're too polite and we have no personality, which he doesn't.
Yeah, Apple personality.
He's boring.
Oh my god. Sorry, guys.
The correct answer was William Shatner.
Merci, mon ami. Merci.
What are you? Go ahead.
I'm just curious, Ms. Paramo. Now that you discovered the competition side, like I know this knowledge, this is awesome. But is there a moment or a character or a player that then you realize the other aspect, the more showmanship entertainment? Who did you gravitate when you start discovering the other side of Schmodown?
Oh, he knows this. It's John Roca, hands down.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's not because this guy. It's not.
No, that guy is awful. That guy is awful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Jay Wade, yes, I'm nuts, but save it for speaking of Schmodown, me and you, 2:30 to 4 Saturday. If you guys are not watching it, you guys are nuts. Go check that out.
It's honestly it's been John Roca. I feel like he put this league on his back and he carried it with him. many people as the years gone down have hated Roca, feel a certain way, but you can't take that away from him. That he said it before and he said it just recently. He built this fucking league. He really did. There was no characters. There was it was honestly online personality John Campea versus online personality Dan Merrill, sorry. And it wasn't Roca until he put when he put that blindfold, that episode for me meant
we lost Dave. All right.
What?
Am I in charge now? Do I put
no? Apparently, no one is in charge because I cannot get the login code, so I'm not even an admin right now. So the only person who can control the show is fucking Dave. So Jay,
go with it.
I think Jay Wade's point is gonna make
there
make
it
a strong.
is.
Don't worry about me. Did my cat jump up onto my keyboard, hit the button, and start everything off?
If you log off 20 times like you did on Let's Get Ready,
he's out. Don't worry about him. Dex is gone.
Log off 20 times, log in 21. That's what I always say.
All right, so Jader, now going from finding the Schmodown, finding kind of your inspirations, now boom, you're at that live event.
I literally told John Roca. I told John Roca that very night. Where the fuck did I go? Hold on. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. No. My somebody called me. I told John Roca that very night. So the Orlando event, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but it was Corruption versus the Founding Fathers, and it was the manager ball. It was the manager ball. But that's the night that the Founding Fathers kicked Corruption's ass, right? They just slapped it up that night. It was so great to see that. And again, this is not a knock against Corruption. I have a lot of love for those people as well. But I told John Roca that night because it was a surreal event. So for me, again, I was in the crowd, sitting down. I was like 3 beers down already, and my girlfriend, which you guys met pre-show, got the winning ticket. Right? She was the one that actually won the ticket. It wasn't me. And she told me, she goes, "Get your ass up there." I got on stage, and the rest is history. Never in a million years did I think that was gonna happen. Right?
Russian? What do you mean? What does he mean, Russian? This is Canadian.
You do like the end, like the Russian. I'm just telling you might have some ancestry of the Russian in you, Mr. Gagné.
Look at this. This is 100% French Canadian. French
Oh,
Canadian.
yes, we can compare. Yes, okay, perfect.
Oh man.
Don't oh man me, Mr. Paramo. You showed your boxers off air.
I can't, man. I can't. Look, I don't got shit, dude. I'm naked.
I'm wearing 2-way layers, Stephen. Try.
You are so nice that we may think that you are Canadian, but you are smooth like baby, which means, of course, no.
No, whatsoever. Whatever. I ended up winning. Grace of God, thank God that I knew what was asked. I was nervous as all hell, to be completely honest with you, because I wanted it so bad. And again, like there's one thing of, hey, you got the golden ticket to, hey, possibly have this dream of yours come true. And there's another thing where you got to perform in front of, 300, 400, 500 people, however many were there. So I was nervous. Oh, go ahead.
So basically what you're saying is you went from fantasize ahead and what ifs and playing along and say, I could do this to finally, this is your chance, kid, to prove that what you said in your head and what you projected, what you imagined was going to be reality is going to truly make it.
100%. 100%. And again, I was like 3-4 beers in already because I was pre-gaming. I know personally, know people that were there early, right? Super early, that they were like, oh, I'm going to win the golden ticket, so on and so forth. And I showed up right when I needed to be there because I'm such a pessimist. I hate to say that I'm such a negative person, but I like to say that I'm a realist, but it sounds like more pessimism event. Like I'm just a pessimist, right?
Yeah.
And I showed up right when I needed to show up. And when I actually showed up maybe an hour before showtime, right? And when I saw the line of people prior, I actually told Steph, I was like, no, there goes my golden ticket. I'm like, there it is. And then she's like, no, you can't be so negative. And then I started seeing people paying for, the meet and greets. I don't make a lot of money. So I bought a regular general admission ticket. I got a $20 ticket. That's what I bought. I couldn't afford, the meet and greets or anything like that. And we ended up waiting in line. We ended up making the line to the front. And then they were like, oh, tickets. They saw our tickets. They're like, oh, well, you're not allowed in yet. So I'm like, all right, can we hang out here in the meantime while everybody else goes in? Everybody else skipped us. We were one of the last people to actually get in. And I made friends because I don't know if you guys know. Well, Mansoor, I'm sure I met you before. You guys?
No, I've never known you before in my life.
But I can talk.
I never leave Canada.
Jader, what happened? Okay, is by accident, instead of posting the YouTube link to one of the pages, we actually posted accidentally the StreamYard's link, and apparently this guy just popped up, and we can't boot him out somehow.
Somehow he has the admin power. I don't know how he got it.
It's the wine. The wine gives me the power.
Fuck this guy. All right. Anyway, so I can talk to the wall. I can talk to anybody about anything. I try, live my life honestly on just such a positive level and try to just, inner peace with everybody, to be completely honest with you. I make friends with everybody. I try to find something that we connect with and we can shoot on from there, right? And that day, I made friends with the guy in the front, giving the tickets out. It was, and I can't remember her name for the life of me, to be honest with you. But it was the guy and the girl giving out the raffle tickets. I remember distinctly her giving me my ticket, and I look at her. I'm like, "This is the winning raffle ticket, right?" And she goes, "I got you, man. You got it. Don't worry about it." Right behind me, my girlfriend gets a ticket, and she grabs it, and then she's like, "No." My girlfriend says to her, "No, you didn't give it to him. You gave it to me, right?" Whatever. We brushed off. We go to the bar. We get our drinks. A buddy of mine did pay. Shout out to Gil. Gil writes for the website that I write for. He was there with me. He ended up buying that ticket, right? He ended up buying the ticket to meet, Ellis and Harloff and all them. And when we got inside, he's like, "Guys, I got your seats. Just come up to, mid-center, wherever he was sitting." He's like, "I got your seats. Don't worry about it." So we go up there. First person gets called up, and I look at my ticket. Honestly, wanting to win, but very it's not gonna happen. Look at my ticket. First two numbers are called. It's like a 9-digit number, right? First two numbers are called. Not even close. This guy, 5 rows behind me, wins. And I'm like, all right, it is what it is. Second number gets called. Second number, the first 3 digits are exactly the same. So I'm like, holy shit. Fourth digit gets called. Nothing. I'm like, all right, whatever. So the rest of the digits gets called. And right next to me, I hear, "I won." So I'm like, what? And then my girlfriend wins the ticket. So my girlfriend's like,
now, before Mr. Gotti chimes in, I got a very serious question to ask. Was there cinematic music playing in your head when that happened?
Right there? No. When I got the ticket, I felt like a glow all over me, and it was me walking to the stage. Cinematic music, freaking buzzed out. Everything was just phased out, and I felt like a halo in front of me, and I was just focusing on the light. Bullshit, man.
Did you and your girlfriend sing a song? Did you sing, "You got the golden ticket, you got the golden ticket"?
No,
Mr. Gotti,
not
you're
at all.
going Russian now. You really.
And while we're on the subject, fuck Grandpa Joe. One of the
Your grandpa
worst
did not
characters
jump out
ever.
of bed after
Fuck
being
that
in bed
guy.
for 20 years?
Yeah.
Fuck that. I hate that guy.
You
But
don't
anyways,
walk the
no.
whole time. So like you get up on stage. Did you grow up like doing any theater or anything, or like what were the nerves like as you have to perform?
Can I say real quick? I'd imagine what I hear of you Americans, it must have been second nature for you to be very drunk and then make a spectacle of yourself in front of hundreds of people, right?
Yes.
All Americans do.
I was, tilting a little to the left. I was like, what the fuck just happened, dude? I'm like, I can't believe I had to go on stage. So that's where the nerves kicked in because I didn't know how I was going to perform. I was like, okay, I have this shot. I had a couple shots. How am I going to perform? And so I get called up. The first person that got called up, I want to say his name is Chris Jader, right? Right. I was the second person that called up. So Mark Ellis is calling the numbers. I'm looking at the last 4 digits. My girlfriend's like, I won. I'm looking at her and I'm like, no fucking way. She looks at me and she goes, you won. Gives me the ticket. And I'm looking at it and Ellis is repeating the number like, hey, I'm about to go and call the next number because nobody's claiming this win, right? And I get up, everybody cheers, right? I'm walking there, everybody's clapping, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now, man? Like it was so surreal, right? So surreal. So I go up on stage and then they call 2 other contestants and they introduce us. His name is, I know Jaeger for sure. I'm not sure if his last name, first name. I want to say his name is Jaeger, Chris Jader, right? So my name is Jader. However,
oh god,
I grew up. Everybody called me Jaeger, and I actually have a Jägermeister tattoo on my hand because it's my drinking hand. And a bunch of us and a bunch of bartenders, our names were all started with a J. It was our shot. It was just a drunken mistake, but a tattoo that's very near and dear to my heart, right?
It's very far from your heart. Your heart is here. Your tattoo is here.
Shut up, bro. Anyway,
you got a little pulse in your thumb, right?
So anyway, so we get on. I get on stage, and Buddy and I are like duking it out, back and forth. The other 2, not so much. He was my competitor. Like he was the guy that had every right to be there just as much as I did. He just he lost on the 5. That's pretty much what happened. Right.
So would you say that your lifetime of competing against Jaeger prepared you to beat Jaeger in this moment?
Absolutely. And honestly, I kind of want Christian to give him a shot because he deserves the spot. I just lucked out with that. Like I knew my 5-pointer versus he didn't know it, And funny enough, that night, I won. The rest is history. I met everybody else. Marisol McKee was in the crowd that night, and so was James White, and I met them both that night. So it's something we really, we all treasure because Marisol McKee, she was there. My girlfriend noticed her because Marisol McKee was apparently sitting right in the row right in front of us, right? And Marisol was answering everything. And my girlfriend, when I got down, was like, that girl in front of us would have gone to sudden death with you two. So as that happened, right, I meet Marisol because I didn't know who she was. Marisol introduced herself. She's like, hey, man. She's like, congratulations. God damn it, man. I'm sorry. Someone's calling me. All right, go. We're good. So she's like, she was like, she's like, congratulations, introduced herself. Her boyfriend at the time, I'm not sure if she's still with him or not. I don't know if she's single. Her boyfriend at the time stayed back for there was a Q&A right after the event, right? It was Mark Ellis and Christian Harloff. And Marisol's boyfriend at the time got up. I wanted to stick around only because I won the event. I'm like, I don't know who I got to get my information to because it didn't happen right away. Like I won, I went backstage. Christian Harloff shook my hand. I was in heaven. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I met Roca and Merle quickly. And again, they were going through it.
Jerks,
they were studying. Yes. So they were studying, right? And I, again, as a fan, understood. And I was like, guys, take your time. It's fine. I'll talk to you guys later. And I left the room immediately, right?
Yeah.
And then so after the event, I'm like, who do I talk to? How are they going to know who I am, right? And Brandon Hanna was there. And I went up to Hannah and I was like, hey, man, I won the event. He's like, hey, man, congratulations. He's like, hey, just stick around. I'm like, they're not going to kick me out or anything. He's like, no, you should be good. Just stay right there. So I felt terrible because people paid extra for this, this Q&A that was going on after the Orlando match. And I felt terrible because I'm like, dude, I paid $20 and these guys paid, however amount that they paid. And I'm here like, not freeloading, but I kind of want to just give my name and be like, hey, call me when you can. Yeah. And I'm gonna leave. But they're like, hey, just stick around for the Q&A. It's fine.
Very Canadian. It's very Canadian of you.
But still,
I'm a polite guy. I like to believe that I'm a very polite guy.
Little did you know though that you were allowed to stay because you were part of the family.
I didn't know at the time. Absolutely, I had no fucking idea. For me, it was like, all right, this guy won. Till this day, it's surreal to me because for me, it was like this guy's gonna get a one-off, and I'm gonna compete against competitor, pros, and that's it. That's gonna be it. I honestly thought what I was promised was one flight out, you compete, and you go home. I didn't know that I was gonna be part of this.
Were you still in it?
I'm trying to be, man. I heard I have a match coming up. I don't know, but
now, if we like advance, right? We fast forward a bit into your first match. Just your proven match wasn't even televised, right? So we never really had any details on you.
Nobody had any details.
The guy who won. So what were you thinking? What was your mindset? You knew you can do this. You won a match against another amateur, but now, this is not just like a tryout anymore.
That's it. Like this is for real. So again, we fast forward to that time. I was lucky enough to be the last weekend. Love you, Peggy, so much. I love that girl so much. Yo, look out for fucking Peggy. She's gonna take heads. Just heads up, guys. But yeah, we ended up
very violent.
I don't care. America.
Poutine. Mr. Gani, tabarnak. Don't forget that.
Sacre bleu. Sacrament.
The Collies.
This is either the best episode of Northern Consultations we've ever done or the worst. I don't know.
The worst. It's so fucking worse. Don't lie to him.
See, magnifique.
But yeah, so we fast forward to my match, right? And I, obviously now speaking future terms, lucky enough to be the last live match. I was the last group that managed to get a studio match. So that absolutely means the world to me because I feel like it's a different beast, right? But the nerves were there. I show up.
You said the nerves were there?
The nerves, everything.
Did you punch them?
I wanted to. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yes. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? No, I'm just kidding. So
punch the nerds.
So that's
what we say in France. Wait, no. I'm serious. That's what they say in France. And in Canada, we say we love everyone and we're very polite. No nerds.
We love everybody, but on the ice, then we punch you because that's what hockey is.
Do you guys see what's going on? You see what's going on right here? That's exactly what happened in my first match. So let me walk you through this. I show up, right? I knock on the door. I get an address. I show up. I'm like, this can't be it. I'm knocking on the door, right? And open the door, and they look at me, and I'm like, hey, I'm here for the Schmodown. They're like, boom, close the door. And then somebody opens again. They're like, go around back. I'm like, all right, go around back, right? And I go inside, and Mike's already there. It was the corruption versus goddamn, I can't remember the name. And boom. There you go. So it's corruption versus the family. It's the first match of the day. That's the live match that they were doing. So I get there. Shannon's already there. Mike's already there. Chance is there. Shannon comes over to me. She's like, hey, congratulations on your win. How do you feel? I'm like, oh, I'm nervous, this and that and that. Everybody, Christian's there, Ellis. I had actually chilled. I had hung out with Ellis, Dagnino, and BC, if you guys know who BC is. I had hung out with them like the night before.
Yeah, they're all for human beings. Bad people.
Yeah. Terrible. No, so and again, Dag, BC, everybody they were so nice to me. Took me out. We went drinking with them. The rest stays PG. That's as far as we went. We had dinner. We had a good time. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Did you have poutine?
Yeah. But we went there. Shannon comes up to me. Alice, Christian is like, "How do you feel?" I'm like, "Man, I'm just excited to be here." And shortly after, I meet this guy with blonde hair, long hair. He rookie himself. Apparently like supposed to be a beast in the league, and he was like, hey, how are you? I'm the Barbarian. And I'm like, hey, nice to meet you, man. I'm the Hurricane. And then he goes, how do you feel, man? How, welcome to the league, this and that. I'm like, oh, likewise. And I'm like, I'm a little nervous. And he's like, hey, man, don't worry about it. We're going to chill your nerves right now. He has the bottle of Bullet whiskey, right? And pours me a glass of whiskey, and he's just like, ease up a little bit, dude. Start drinking the whiskey, and indeed it helped. And
by the way, just to help Mr. Guy need to understand who Barbarian is, he apparently took off his own hair chest and put it on his shoulder. So you probably like him very much.
I would never. Keep it here. Yeah, he sounds very handsome though. But
yes,
would never drink. We drink wine only. Wine,
no Bullet. Oh,
Canadian
man.
French wine. Canadian French wine.
No. This is all you need, my friend.
So yeah, man. So he eased me up a little bit. He told me, try to relax a little bit. Obviously, we all saw that the family lost that match because the moment I went into the studio, McWeenie and Guy were just focused. They were in that zone. So I didn't want to approach anybody at that point because I still felt like a little isolated.
Yeah.
And it was like a
Americans
on and off switch, to be completely honest with you, because as soon as that match finished, Drew Guy like beeline towards me, and he's like, "What's up, man? My name's Guy. How are you? Nice to meet you." Mm-hmm. And he was like, "This is what we got to do." Started talking about promo, and he goes, "I'm going to be your manager today. You got this tonight. Don't worry about the rest." And again, the rest was history. That's why I had in my bag. Janine was there, which we all know. I have a match against Janine coming up. Mm-hmm. So it's a student versus teacher match because she legit has been there since the very, very, very beginning of my Schmodown journey. Besides this man right here, Janine has been there throughout. No, this guy.
Me? I've never been anywhere. What are you talking about? Yeah. I have nowhere.
There you go. But okay, you just resemble my friend the Barbarian. You resemble my friend the Barbarian so much that I confuse you two. Besides the Machine and the Barbarian have honestly been there from the very beginning, coaching day and night, throwing me questions, preparing me for matches. So that's why it's so interesting that this season, we're going to war, and it's crazy to me that my very first match is like a colleague and somebody that I just deeply care about so much and knows my ins and outs, right?
Which war are you going to?
Season 8 war. I don't know. There you go.
The Civil War or the Korean War?
It seems like a civil war right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, we do not talk about the current condition of the U.S. here. All right.
So So Jader, after your first match, obviously pandemic changes everything. The next time we really hear about you is when you're being traded from the usual suspects over to the Burning Droogs, and obviously now you're not even that faction doesn't exist anymore. You're on a different faction, so you're one of the guys who's had the interaction with some of the most managers. Can you talk to me about like what that moving around has been like?
I would love to hear more about that as well.
A boot. You fucking asshole. God, I hate you. All right, so there's no way around sugarcoating this, right? So when Juice is the shit. I fucking love that guy. So
I prefer wine to juice.
There you go.
He's a different kind of juice, trust me.
So Sam Levine, and I don't mean to disrespect him whatsoever. I had very little to do with Sam, right?
He's probably too good for you.
No, man, I don't know, man. Maybe I wasn't good enough for him. I don't know. I don't feel that way. I don't feel disrespected by him I don't want to disrespect him. I don't want to talk shit about him, but I like to call a spade a spade. At the time where I got drafted by him, legitimately, like the only time I ever spoke to him was the day of the draft where he drafted me, surprised because I've never spoken a word with him. We got there. He shook my hand.
Style.
Yeah, he shook my hand. Welcome to the usual suspects. We're gonna do great things, and that was it. Shortly after that, he was a busy guy. This was BC. You guys got to remember this BC before COVID, right? So when this was happening, Sam's a busy guy, right? So he would email, "Hey, we're gonna have a study session, this and that and that," and we would have our study sessions. But at the end of the day, the study sessions were with some of the players, and he wouldn't make it. It is what it is. He would, get everything together, but that's as far as I went with him. So when I got traded, I'm not gonna lie, it hurt only because I'm like, man, I got a W, with the usual suspects. I did get a win. So why are you guys trading me? Long story short, I was told that, they're like, they wouldn't take this, they wanted obviously to get Ethan or Irwin on the team. And they're like, they wouldn't take this trade without you. So you were like the guy that needed to go onto the team for this thing to work out. Made me feel good, honestly, because I'm like, all right, I'm somewhat of value if that's what it took. But it still sucked, because I'm like, man, I actually got a W compared to some of the other players on the team. So it sucked because, I didn't know how the Droogs are going to do. And we all saw how we ended up last year, right?
You won, right?
So I won one, yeah.
No, the Droogs won, right?
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Garnier, when was the last time you watched the Schmodown? I'm just curious.
Never.
What is Schmodown?
I watched it on the UPN network, United Paramount Network. It was, I believe it was on after Star Trek Voyager. And it was Jean.
He's my favorite competitor.
No, but what he actually said is jambon, so he just wants ham. So I think he's just getting hungry, and now food words are coming out in French.
French fries and French toast as well.
Jesus Christ, bro.
At one point, Mr. Garnier, you're going to run out of French jokes. We'll have to talk after.
No such thing.
So now,
Le pamplemousse.
So now let's go to the current. Damn. Okay, that's.
Are you still on the Burning Droogs?
No. I belong to this team called the Den now. I'm in the Den.
Much shorter name. Much shorter name.
And let me tell you, that is family. That is family. I've never. And again, this is not a knock on any other team that I've been on. Right. This is not a knock on any other team that I've been on. Thank you. Sorry, guys. Do the calls.
Oh,
Make sure you tip your waitress.
Oh no, she's getting a tip for sure.
Well, now talk about the then, right, and also the season. You saw like from one perspective of a basically crumbling faction that it's kind of like hold on to something, kid. Good luck to you.
Pretty much. That's
having
pretty
a
much
family.
the feeling that it was. And again, I know, and I know that a lot of people were disappointed with the fact that that McWeenie and I'm so drunk right now. What's his name?
Andrew
Hey, you
Gadd?
can win a competition drunk. You can do
And
it in the
Whitney. Whitney,
Whitney.
and Whitney, they that they couldn't, but it was more of a scheduling conflict than it was anything else, right? Just let us clear that up, right?
Yes.
And again, it was more. God, this is why I shouldn't do the show drunk.
Les poissons.
It was more of I was given the opportunity, and I kind of seized the moment. And I was like, I'll do it. Let's go. Let's do what we got to do. I reached out to Hannah. I reached out to Harloff. And originally, a lot of people don't know this, but originally Harloff wanted to pair me up with Alonzo. Duralde was supposed to be my partner, right? Again, scheduling conflicts, it couldn't happen. So we went off, and Hannah was my teammate, which I've said this once, twice, a million times. I did not perform on my team's match. Some very, 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 very personal things happened to me the day of the match where my mind was just gone, which I feel like you should separate your work from personal life, but it was just so personal. It took over, and that's why I didn't perform to the caliber. Hannah and I were actually supposed to be called the Perfect Storm. That was the original team name. The Perfect Storm was supposed to be our team name, which we both fell in love with. That
also, this is I believe is the name of an American movie.
By who?
By
forgive him. He sucks at trivia.
Marky Wahlberg.
I heard he was in it.
Je m'appelle Monsieur Gagné et je suis un gigantesque Marky Mark fan.
Marky Mark fan, yeah. Wolfgang Peterson directed it. Clooney was in it as well.
Rosemary Clooney?
No, George Clooney.
Oh.
But yeah, so
Georg.
That was supposed to be.
I heard gay orgy. I just said I thought I heard gay orgy. Not here, Mr. Gagne.
Chocolate blue.
This guy, bro.
Oh my God.
But that was the Hannah and Jader team was supposed to be the Perfect Storm. Got changed to Category 9. I feel like I still owe Hannah that win because I did not perform to what I.
Are you going to lose to him then?
No. I'm not going to give him a win. I said I owe him a win.
You should give him a win.
I owe him a win. I'm not going to give him a win. I owe him a win. If eventually Category 9 will, team up again, then all hands on deck. But other than that, no.
Maybe you play him in the Inner Geekdom division and you give him the win.
This is a weird show.
If I play Inner Geekdom, I'll probably give him the fucking win. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, give him a win. You owe him win. You don't want to pay that. You're like a Canadian, right? Canadian is very how you say bon appetit. You would you owe him something. You don't want to have debt, so you
I hate you, bro. Who invited this guy?
You did, and the second of all.
No one invited me. I just say I want to go on the show, so I go on the show.
He goes, I click link, I popped up.
I click on the link, and now I'm here, and I'm drinking my wine, and I'm very Canadian, French Canadian. And I love hockey. I love Canadian rock band Our Lady Peace.
Talk about hockey. I should go straight. I know if you're from the South, so this is the only South Division.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
NHL jersey I have, so I wanted to represent a bit of your area, my friend.
I gotta say, it's like there's two different shows going on. Me and Jader are talking about the Schmodown, and Monsieur Gagné and Frenchie are doing some comedy bit, and I love it. It's a meshing of styles.
The best.
Whoa! Comedy? Do I make you laugh? Am I like how comedy? Like a clown?
Like
how comedy?
Do I amuse you?
How am I like clown?
We.
Oh man.
Noof.
No. All right. Going back to Schmodown though. A lot of people. This is the hardest show to keep a straighter face.
It is.
But now that war is happening, and don't say anything on you. Okay. Now war is happening. Oh no, Rob! Don't feed the beast.
Don't entertain this, Rob the Snark. Don't entertain this.
No, I have declared for office.
Fuck.
Don't put it back on, Dave. All right, now that the new
Monsieur Trudeau has nothing on me.
Now,
so Jader, now that you're with the Den, what's that like?
Thank you. So then, no, honestly, it as
is it like a drug den?
No, it's not a drug den.
Opium den?
This guy, bro. This guy.
Den of thieves?
This guy.
Den of thieves? Den of thieves.
You just killed us, Mr. Gagné.
Anyway.
To be honest, I had the shittiest week, and I think everyone here, without giving any explanations, thank you so much. You've made my month, man, Mr. Gagné. I needed to laugh like this.
I needed it too.
I don't appreciate being laughed at. So
no, it's all the love. Well.
Sacre bleu.
All right, no, but
Avec moi.
You know what? I will take this as a life challenge. I will master my straight face with Mr. Gagné on. One day I will be breakless. Now, when it comes to season 8, everyone has been saying this feels different. There's something in the air here. But the description's different in other places, right? Like, it differs the way they explain what they feel. What is your best description of how this season has changed compared to last season?
Determination, focused. I feel, and I'm just speaking on behalf of the first match that was announced between me and Janine. I feel like we both have something to prove, right? Janine has
like math proof, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. You've been given math problems, you have to prove.
Yeah, there you go. So pretty much with Janine, it's been a rough. It was a rough season 7 for Janine, and I feel like she's a very, how do I say this? Like, she deserves the praise that she gets. I don't feel like she deserves any of the criticism, if that makes any sense. Like, she is established as a competitor, right? This fucking guy, bro.
Well, you do not say in America, you do not say God bless you when someone sneezes or Gesundheit.
You got it.
No.
But
no.
Alcohol proof. But yeah, no, I just feel like Janine has a lot to prove.
That kind of proof, alcohol proof. I get it now. It's very funny.
With me, it's been more of a. I'm very new to this game, right, Janine? This is, I think, her senior year, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me, but
I believe so. Yeah.
Does that mean she graduates?
Yeah.
Does she graduate?
Yeah, she graduates next year. That's it, the veteran. But
like a cylinder.
Janine has gotten a lot of shit for the last year, and I don't feel like she deserves any. And this is going back to her being. She was my faction mate, And again, just like the Barbarian was, and just like the Machine was, they took me in this place and welcomed me with open arms. So it sucks that I had to face my friend, on my first match. It really does. But it is what it is. She's just in the way of me going to the top. But I feel, again, she has a lot to prove, and so do I, because, again, this is my sophomore year versus her senior year, and she's been getting a lot of slack, but I feel like I have been too. I feel like a lot of guys or, fans have been, I wasn't even in, not that it stung more, I guess I want to say this, it stung more when I didn't get nominated for Rookie of the Year versus me not caring about it prior, because I honestly didn't care for it prior until it happened where, I feel like, Kevin Smith was picked over me, and I felt like that was more of a popularity contest than anything.
Talk about upset of the year.
Kevin Smith made 2 movies in Canada, Tusk, Yoga Hosers, and both
never seen them. No, I've never heard of those movies, man.
Masterpieces, Yoga Hosers.
But
you talk poorly about Kevin Smith. You're a hoser. You're a hoser.
And I'll say this a million times over. Like, I love Kevin Smith films. I dressed up as Silent Bob in 2019, and I killed it. By the way, I'll send you guys pictures later. This is when I had my beard out, but it just sucked because I'm like, how did I get ignored so much? I'm like, I thought I at least for my rookie year, getting picked out of the crowd and whatnot. Like, I'm not a professional. I'm not in the business. I'm not in Hollywood. I live, again, in the opposite end of the United States from where the Schmodown takes place, right? And I got
Hollywood, Florida as well, right? Are you not in the Florida?
It's not the fucking same, man. Don't try that shit. But again, like, I got picked out out of the crowd, and that's why I honestly feel so lucky. I feel so lucky that I got picked out of the crowd because I managed. Go ahead, Frenchie.
I was gonna say I understand the feeling because this is not something we also often talk about, but still was a positive. But this year we worked so hard, right? Like, we've been a year in now. Like this, we're grinding every week, multiple times a week. And in the voters poll, Schmoza North was in contention in the top 4 to be nominated, right?
Right.
And then when the nominations happened, with all that grind and hope of holy shit, we're making it. We didn't get nominated. And I know.
Which sucked, right?
This is the time you say tabarnak.
Exactly.
Tabarnak!
No. Honestly, it sucked. It sucked. And, it was, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it was so hard. Because we all got the nominations, obviously, in our emails, and we're voting and voting and voting. And there's a lot of good shows out. There's a lot of good shows out, right? So you're like, who the fuck? What do I do, right? And I'm just a big underdog person. I've always been an underdog person. Where
I love that Jason Lee movie, right? Underdog.
This guy should be competing in this Schmodown. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. God, share some of that shit, man. I'm fucking dry right now.
This is a wine. It's a very, very French Canadian wine. It's very good.
By the way, bro, the fun thing in Canada, especially very Quebec, there's wine shops, there's weed shops here, but governmentized. So it costs so much less to buy your weed here. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna renew my fucking passport. I'm gonna go fucking stay with you, Frenchie.
All right, sounds good.
So talk to us a little bit more, Jader, about what you have to prove this year.
Honestly, it's crazy because I feel like it's my sophomore year, right? 2-1 record, and people aren't talking about 2-1, right? Mm-hmm. So I read the comments, right? I read the comments, and I know I've been told multiple times by hierarchy people, they're like, ignore that shit. Don't get it to you. But I like to read the comments. I like to see what people are saying about me, right?
People always say, always read the comments.
There you go. So that's what I'm doing, right? I'm reading the comments.
Always read the comments.
It sucks because you come to this game this is honest. It's a sport, but it's you can kind of consider this a hobby as well, right? We put a lot of time into this. Like we don't fuck around when it comes to this. We don't just like, hey, oh yeah, my next match I'm gonna base it on knowledge. No, like, oh, I have a match with I'm facing Janine. Let me study the fuck out of this shit, right? And when people, some people are gonna come up short. It's always gonna happen when someone's gonna come up just a little bit short. But I feel, again, Janine and I are kind of in the same topic, except Janine had established herself as a player already and just had kind of like a slump last year versus me coming in my rookie year. And I've read he's overrated. He hasn't convinced me yet, And it just brings this amount of pressure on you where I'm like, fuck, I am capable of this shit. Like I can keep up with the pros. And it's just that grindage, man. Like, again, we all have lives, right? Yeah. I have kids. I have a full-time job. I have, again, my just a personal life. I have school, right?
So there are no ghosts in the league?
No, not at all. Not at all. So it's one of those things where I try to balance everything that I have and still at least I try to put 110% effort into this league.
Yeah.
So
that is physically impossible, mathematically impossible. The highest percentage is 100%. 100% is the top.
I'm gonna put this comment. Can you comment back up here for a second?
There you go, man.
But like, honestly, people really don't understand how draining it is to train, to look at every category, to IMDb, Wikipedia, out of every movie. Because when you think about it, okay,
everything,
directors, actors are more searchable because you got a restrained list, right? But when you try to study things like 80s, horror, drama, even if you do
this is the short list of index cards I have of such. Jesus. Short. This is short. I promise you guys. Like, and I had it because I was studying for my match. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and you can't. The league is it's such on a different level now, where you can't go based on not just knowledge things that things that you remember. It's not like that anymore. It's so competitive right now that. There's and this year alone, the amount of rookies, and we can't take the rookies for a grain of salt. Like there's this faction, Mr. Garnier, I don't know if you heard of this, the Finstock Exchange.
No, never. No bells are ringing. No bells are ringing.
That's honestly a faction that I don't knock them for doing what they did. So let me explain to you what they did. They kind of went like the Moneyball treatment, right? Where they went from having
they made a ball out of money.
No, shut up, bro. Let me fucking explain to you. God damn it. So what they did was they had a roster full of aces, right? They had to let some players go, some players left on their own, and they had to build a team from nothing, basically. And they started just slowly but surely just looking at interviewing players, looking at this, looking at that, and building their own team. They honestly went with all rookie players, which is a gamble. But at the end, it could work.
Idea. Very bad idea.
But it could work in their benefit at the end, see? So it's not something that you knock immediately because you got to see how they perform. Last year, if you recall, we're a rookie class, and I feel like at least the Schmodown rookie class, like you have Adam Collins, which ended up winning the whole shit. You have.
Why would you want to win shit? You don't want to win this.
It's golden shit, my man. It's golden shit.
Golden shit. It is golden shit. Let me tell you.
Does it smell?
Yeah, you had Marisol McKee. You had the Barbarian, right? You had Robert Parker. You had myself on there. There's so many. James White. You had so many players on
very attractive rookie class. Very attractive.
So you had a rookie class where
Very handsome and pretty.
I felt, at least I felt like we kind of like showed up and we're like, hey, like we're here to play, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I don't knock what the Finstock Exchange
You
did.
see, I've been very vocal. A lot of people are like, what the fuck is this? Kind of my reaction at first. And a lot of people have been making fun of me, man. But I don't give a shit, especially you, Jay Wade. If you're still listening to me, you suck. Love you. But I've been really vocal on a set, like, oh, we don't know them, so we're gonna just come out and the worst draft ever.
You can't do that.
Just because,
you can't do that.
Because
you don't know what they bring to the table.
And it's
you
the
don't
system.
know that.
It's the system. It's the people behind the system. Their vision. If they found, like it's been told before.
You think they were like? You think they were picked up by mistake?
No,
not at fucking all.
No,
not at all.
People are sleeping on them, and I'm fucking laughing in their faces, man.
You know, I have hopes for them. I really do. I know I'm not in the same faction, but I liked,
you know, your competition.
I liked, exactly, and you can never underestimate the competition. I go into every single match that I faced. The only one that I don't want to say that I didn't prepare for, but the only one that I didn't know what to do was my very first match. Mm-hmm. It was the very first match when I went against Brittany Young. I didn't know what to expect. She had one match, which was a group match. And I'm like, and I saw her answer a lot of questions, but I didn't know how to prepare for that. So I just prepared
I think that's the answer,
upside down. Oh my God, look at that.
And she, like, look, out of everyone I do stuff with, you are probably the most logical person, but I still don't understand why you don't understand the Finstock 100% and see the potential value. Because again, they are the unknowns, and unknowns is a scary thing. Usually, it's
a scary thing. You don't know, and that's exactly where I was going at. So with my first match, I didn't know how to prepare for my first match. What I did was best myself at my best, you know, and even then, I felt like I could have done better. I missed dumb questions that I knew off rip.
Yeah,
and it was one of those when the lights hit you, and I shit you not, it is a real thing. When the lights hit you, all bets are off, right? Online feels a little bit more comfortable. Once we can start going back to the studio and doing matches, we're gonna see who actually survives. You know, the lights are intimidating. It's not that. And again, I'm sitting on a chair. I had Miss Movies, and I had Mark Ellis in front of me, and then I had a crowd of Schmodown pros literally locking eyes to see what I was doing. And I was confident, and you can go back to my first match. I'm a very big people person, and I'm like, I had that. I was fucking nervous where I'm grabbing and I'm writing down and I'm like shaking my hand because I didn't know what to expect, right?
Well, let me. I have a suggestion.
Whiskey.
I don't know if this. No. So I have not seen. Let me say. Okay, I have not seen this Schmodown that you call it.
You should. It's fucking fantastic. You got to check it out.
But I watched very religiously fellow Canadian Alex Trebek show Geo Party. And on the Geo Party, it seems that the way to win is to answer questions. I tried to give the advice. Let me give the advice.
God, I hate you. I hate you so much.
I'm here to give advice. Let me give the advice.
Yes, go ahead.
Are you trying to do imitation of women?
Go, bro.
All right, so when you're on the Geo Party,
motherfucker said Geo Party.
The way to win a Geo Party is to answer questions. So I feel like on this Schmodown that you're just answering the questions, right? That's how you win.
Yeah.
Fun fact about a Geo Party, that's how I always pronounce it, so I remember how it's spelled.
Oh.
Being dyslexic fun.
It's also how it's pronounced, so I don't know what you mean. But so like Geo Party, if you answer the questions correct, you win, right? So win. That's the strategy.
It's a good strategy, you know.
It's a good strategy. Yes, it's a winning strategy. Hence my name, Monsieur Gonnier. That's Mr. Win. Hey.
So, Jader, you talk about having people survive when they go back into the studio matches. Do you think after your rookie year and the way you've been preparing this year that if, by the grace of God, by the end of the year, you're able to get back into the studio, are you one of the people who is going to be able to survive through it?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of confidence in myself. It's honestly the only way that a Schmodown competitor should think. I am here for a reason, and I'm here to prove a point. And that's my whole thing about everything. Like, I again read the comments as much as I don't want to. I do. I've seen, and there's been shows where they're like, he's not convincing me yet. And I one and none. I understand 100% that my round twos suck completely, right? Which is crazy because when I'm watching the actual matches from home on my couch, I ball out. 4 out of 4. It doesn't matter. I'll get all 8 sometimes, and when it's you spinning and you're getting a category that you don't feel comfortable with, you're like, fuck, and you get completely shaky. I have something completely to prove this season, right? Which is yes, there you go. So which so does Janine, so it's one of those matches that's I feel that match is gonna go back and forth. It is.
That math will go back and forth.
Yes, exactly.
Double check it. Among other things, a lot of things, Mr. Garnier. Now, I am curious because you see certain people evolve, even they play a bit of
Pokemon.
Yes, exactly. But we do see Pokemon evolutions when it comes to certain players, right? Like Chance. Chance at first was very stoic and
always.
But you can see little nuances in his character more and more you advance, right? So there's always an evolution in character. Where do you want to bring it eventually, without revealing too much details? What are the nuances you're hoping to bring in your character more you advance?
Craziest. Go ahead.
I feel like you should say Charizard.
This is Bulbasaur.
Have you seen Charizard? Charizard is a big fucking dragon that will burn people to the ground. You should be Charizard.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Thank you. We're gonna bring you on, Mr. Garnier, for every last minute of every Schmodown Night in Canada. We're gonna give the interpretation of Mr. Garnier, and you can definitely talk about Charizard. No, but for real, what's your nuance you want to bring eventually in your character?
And I'm trying to be as real as I can with you guys.
We appreciate it.
Feel like I don't play a character. I'm me.
Okay.
My character is the fan that won got picked out of a crowd. Happy to be here, which I am, but I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Now that I'm here, now that I'm part of the Schmodown, I feel a little disrespected. I feel like people don't talk about me enough. People, because again, I don't come from fan leagues. I've never done this before. I don't, Chance came from a fan league. Smets, my respect to Smets, love that guy so much. Came from a fan league. Robert Parker came from a fan league. What is a Robert Parker? Robert Parker is the messiah of the dungeon, apparently. So great friend of mine. Love, again, it's all love. It
Someone
really
will
is all
execute
love.
him?
I don't know, maybe. I heard the Barbarian has it out for him, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know. I slept during church, so I don't know if what the Messiah happens.
but yeah, like I don't come from that. I don't. And a lot of people, I've heard a lot of shows say, "Oh, he comes from fan leagues." I don't come from that. I've never competed against anybody except like the Schmodown app that I have on my phone. Right? I've never done any.
Oh,
you've muted.
No, that was weird.
Wow.
Ooh.
Is this it? Is this the singularity?
Well, you never know with Mr. Gagne.
I do nothing. I do nothing.
Okay, well, since we're waiting for Jader to come back, we usually
Yes.
do a part. We ask if ever aliens come and wipe all movies of its existence. What's the last?
Here's
movie you
Mr.
watched?
The
Let-
Jaeger is back. Jägermeister is back. Jägermeister,
back.
can you hear us?
No, we gotta hear you.
Yeah, you're muted. Jägermeister, you're muted.
What I would suggest, just come out of the stream and go back in. That might help.
But do not cross the street. Whatever.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah, there you are.
All right, cool. Sorry about that.
no problem.
I don't know where I got cut off. Where did I get cut off? Sorry.
But yeah, but basically, we are in the last 10 minutes of the show. So if you don't mind, I would have one very important question to ask you. Oh, lost you again.
No, we didn't lose anyone. He's there.
You talking
Well,
to
I
me?
can't.
Good?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, so-
we lose no one. No.
If movies were to disappear, yes, shocking, I know, Mr. Guinea. If movies were to disappear and you would have a week's notice of the event, what would be the last 3 movies you would watch as a final goodbye?
Wait. You're saying we have a week's notice that movies
Yes.
will disappear.
So-
And we
so-
only watch 3?
I will
What do we
come
do
back.
the other 6 days?
I will come back to you, Mr. Gagne. Think about it profoundly, okay? Think about it profoundly.
Profoundly.
You can even do research in the meantime on the internet to see which movies you would get. In the meantime, Paramo, for you, which movies would you want to as a final goodbye?
Fuck, man.
I know.
Shit. All right, let's go. All right, so I would pick. Damn. Back to the Future.
All right.
Back to the Future, and that's gonna be a film that just as much as it's used with this film, just timeless. You know, it's a timeless film. It's one of my perfect films of all time for me. Like I absolutely adore this film. It is a fun ride throughout. It's not excessive goriness. It's not excessive. It's not excessive with how do I say this? Like it's not a dark tone film. It's just a feel good film overall. The only problem with this question is that you're like, if I can only pick this one, they're gonna I'm gonna fucking want to shoot myself if I know how it ends.
A franchise. If you pick a franchise, you watch the whole franchise. That's like
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we found that loophole.
Perfect. All right. So for my next film, can I not pick the franchise and only pick the first one?
You pick whatever you want.
All
As
right,
a
cool.
celebration.
My next one will probably be Jurassic Park. I think
Nice.
it's again another one that if you're talking about when the movie came out, talking special effects still holds up to this day. Story wise, everything about that film, it's another one that I held near and dear to my heart. I feel like it is very close to a perfect film as well. Again, story, action, suspense, everything that you want in a film, it's just built up in one. So Jurassic Park will probably be another one, but I wouldn't recommend the rest of the franchise. Not a knock completely, but it's just
It was good. I mean,
Not a knock.
I don't hate again, and I'm
Not a knock, but not a knock.
But it's not a knock. It's not. It's just one of those if you don't have to, you don't have to. The first one was just fine. I didn't need sequels for Jurassic Park. We got them. I'm grateful because we continue with our characters and we continue to to see where the story goes. So I get that, but at the end of the day, if time being they tell you, hey, you're only gonna get one film, I'm fine with that. With the way Jurassic Park ended, I don't need another one. I'm grateful we got it,
I just don't.
But they said that you get the entire franchise, so you get.
No, but yeah, it's his journey, so he's allowed. If there's something you want to reject,
You know what? I'm allowed my goddamn journey, man. I maybe allowed Jurassic World. Believe it or not, it's my favorite sequel. I like Jurassic World more than I like Lost World, more than 3, and more than Fallen Kingdom. To be completely honest with you, when I saw Jurassic World for the first time, I felt like I was watching Jurassic Park for the first time. It was just a reintroduction to everything. I adore that film. I know it gets knocked all the time. I know people don't like it. It's just I felt like a kid all over again watching Jurassic Park. So I really love Jurassic World. And my third film, I'm not. You know what's crazy? I'm not picking my favorite film of all time, which is bizarre to me. My favorite film, just so you guys know, my favorite film of all time is The Dark Knight, right?
Oh.
But before The Dark Knight, my favorite film of all time, which is going to be the third film in this question, for a very long time, my favorite film of all time is Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's a classic.
So Goodfellas, yes, we are Goodfellas.
Just like this.
Hey, you're a good fella, you know. So Goodfellas would probably be my number 3 film that if I have to take it with me, I will. Classic, mobster, dark, like compared to the other 2 films that you're getting, because the first 2 films, Back to the Future and Jurassic Park, I kind of wanted the same. They're very similar. This is just more a grittier film, great storytelling, great cinematography. I'm talking, you get anything that film school teaches you. This is what you get in a film. So if you're trying to be a film student, this is going to be one of your last films that you're ever going to see. This is the one to watch. It's the perfect package. You get everything in it. Outstanding cast, outstanding story, outstanding production, outstanding cinematography. It's a full package for me. So it'll probably be Goodfellas.
Perfect. And God help us, what is yours, Mr. Garnier?
Oh, oh my gosh. Well, Sacre Bleu.
Sacre
Okay,
Bleu.
so if I'm given 1 week's notice,
Yes.
where Jean, where we
Chocolat.
chocolat, where we get to watch movies.
Yes, go on.
We can choose
Okay.
entire franchise. I would go with Jacques Bond. That's his name, right? Jacques? Oh, no, they call him James. James Bond, because there's 24 movies.
James Bond. Yes.
24 movies.
Ooh.
James Bond. And then I watch MCU. There's 23 movies.
Okay. Oh yes, interesting.
And then, of course, I watch Canadian Bacon because it is a very Canadian movie that stars my favorite Canadian, John Candy. All
right, so
all Canadian actors.
Who invited this guy?
So basically, Mr. Garnier, you're saying that this problem of movie disappearing is basically a time paradox, and you have found a way to completely stretch out the time paradox to watch.
Exactly, we go forever.
Okay.
I almost said that the O.J. Simpson documentary that lasts 13 hours, but I can't watch that for 13 hours. That's why I say Canadian Bacon.
What?
Because I love bacon, and I am Canadian. And I love John Candy. I also love candy.
What?
I love bacon, Canadian bacon, candy, John Candy.
All right.
What a fucking way to end the show.
Oh, no.
Is it over?
Yes, I will continue to speak like this to make sure you understand me, okay? So thank you very much, everyone, to have watched this episode of Norton Consultations.
This thing.
And that being said, where can we find you, Mr. Paramo, if people want to find you?
Mm-hmm.
Go, sir.
Mr. Paramo.
Yeah,
you first, brother. Go ahead.
Well, it said Mr. Monsieur Paramo. I can be found at Tawanak, Saint-Sacorat, Sabour, Sacre
at gmail.com. People won't have any trouble finding you, sir. Mr. Paramo.
Well, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, infamous J13. And on Facebook, you can find me, Jader Paramo, JaderParamo. Tomorrow we have a show, the Jader and Kyle show, which is my personal show on the Pop Culture Pros network. We have Marisol McKee tomorrow.
Nice.
Joining us, and we what we do basically is a deep dive into film. First half of the show, we interview our guests. Second half of the show, we just deep dive. Nick and Pickle, whatever the we have on the movie. Fun show. Whenever anybody wants to join, just let us know. Hit me up on Messenger, and we'll discuss any movie you want to discuss. Monsieur Garnier, if you're more than welcome to join the show whenever you want. So
be careful. We might want to talk about 24 Marvel movies at the same time. So
24 James Bond movies. Oh, Sacre Bleu.
Funny enough, Mr. French, that is the 4th episode of my network. We did a 4-hour stream, and we deep dove in every single Marvel film we had.
I would like to be in that one. I would like to be on that one.
Kaiser joined us that day. We had a bunch of people join us that day. It was a lot of fun, but we did 4 hours streaming every single Marvel movie to date.
All right. Wow. So, and Dave, where can we find this show and all the other shows we have?
You can find them right here on Schmoes of the North. I can't promise you that they're all going to be like this, but they're going to be something, and every one of them is special. You can find us on Schmoes of the North on YouTube. Join our Facebook page at Schmoes of the North. Follow us on Twitter at Northern Schmoes. We have match breakdowns, interviews with your favorite competitors. We have everyone from Jeff Snyder, a bunch of the rookie class coming in this year. The Barbarian was on late December. Anyone you want to see, we have there. And if they're not there yet, just subscribe and wait. They'll get there eventually.
It's only a matter of time. And you can find me Elston Schmoes of North. I also produce and star with Jay Wade on Speaking of Schmodown every Saturday, 2:30 to 4 p.m., where this is really a sports talk radio feel. Basically, me and Jay Wade arguing the whole goddamn time because we never agree, and it's fucking fun. And you can also find me on yesterday's episode. We do once every 3 weeks, me and Mr. Snark. He is turning 50. Instead of getting a sports car or 18-year-old girlfriend, he decided to get us a podcast and learn new things, especially what the cool kids are talking about. Last episode, we actually talked about Hamilton. He never really seen any musicals. He did not really know anything about Hamilton. He watched Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton?
Yes. Definitely. Hamilton. He also watched Cats, poor guy, and Les Miserables, and gave his thoughts about discovering musicals.
Oh, Les Miserables!
I knew you would like that one. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching, and you have a beautiful day. Bonsoir.
French.
We're still live.
Are we?
Yeah.
You're still live. We are still live.
What is going on?
Why are we still live?